Our next presenter is a retired educator who taught and worked as an elementary principal for 34 years. She was a National Distinguished Principal from Oregon in 2008. She has authored and published a children's book entitled Mountain Star. Currently, she works mentoring to administrators, and she lives with her husband of 36 years in Jacksonville. She enjoys hiking, gardening, needlepoint, and being a new grandmother. She has an amazing story that I'm so excited to hear and have her share with you today. Please welcome my good friend, colleague, and you've known me for a really long time, Ginny Hicks. I think you've known me, since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Yes.
You maybe knew me before I knew me.
I think so. I used to work with your mother. Hi, Barbara. Well, I'm not a person that's very good at remembering dates, but I will always remember the date, September 30th, 2014. That is the date an oncologist walked into my hospital room to tell me that the test results were conclusive. I had stage 4 lung cancer. Adenocarcinoma, to be specific. It's a adenocarcinoma non-small cell cancer. It's a slow-growing cancer that is found in the lining of the lungs. My husband and daughter were with me, and we shook our heads and laughed. Surely this doctor had the wrong patient, the wrong room, the wrong file. After all, I'm not a smoker. I didn't grow up in a home with smokers. I'm the person that enjoys exercise. I like to cook and eat healthy meals. I preach to others about having a healthy lifestyle. Cancer doesn't even run in my family. We're stroke and heart attack people. As it turns out, my oncologist was correct, and I do have stage 4 lung cancer. Test results showed that I had a spot on my right middle lobe, approximately 2 by 3 centimeters. The cancer had spread to the lymph nodes in my right sternum and then passed through my bloodstream to the lymph nodes under my left arm. Like most people faced with a challenging illness, I went through the various stages of mourning and loss. I was mourning the loss of my life as I had known it. There was fear and anxiety about how all of this would impact not only me, but my family. I certainly did not want to be a burden to my family. And like others, I wanted to know, what are my chances for surviving this and recovery and the ability to live cancer-free? The survival rate for stage 4 lung cancer is not strong. 17% of patients live 5 years. My oncologist said she could get me 5, but not 10. Fortunately, the stage of feeling sorry for myself did not last very long. As an elementary teacher and principal for 34 years, I thought of children that I had known. Children who had faced enormous adversity in their lives, abuse, neglect, abandonment. All of these children were between the ages of 5 and 12. And I had been living a good, happy life, and so I had no room to feel sorry for myself. I did ask my doctor, what did I miss? How could this have happened? I've always taken care of myself. I've had great health insurance. I engage in preventative checkups and tests. Her answer was, don't beat yourself up trying to find an answer. In reality, I guess knowing the cause would not have changed the outcome. I immersed myself in learning everything I could about cancer, especially lung cancer. Today, as many as 18 to 20% of newly diagnosed lung cancer patients are non-smokers, and most of us are women. It is still unclear how and why women are specifically impacted more than men. More people die annually from lung cancer than from breast and prostate cancer combined. Unfortunately, lung cancer research gets less funding. The reason is there is still a stigma attached to lung cancer. Many have the feeling that smokers brought it on themselves. So how is it possible that non-smokers are getting lung cancer? One thought is that lung cancer is caused by environmental pollution. Our environment faces an assault on all fronts: air, water, soil, our food supply. Pesticides, chemicals, herbicides, and pollution of unimaginable proportions slam us every day. In 2004 alone, just patents for pesticides increased from 8% from the previous year, and this trend continues to rise yearly. One has to wonder, do we really need all of these chemicals? It is important for all of us to be concerned about the environment and actively work to protect our earth, because what happens to the earth does happen to us. My first chemo treatment was the day before my 59th birthday, another date I will always remember. While going through chemo, I made the choice to reach out and accept all of the help and support available to me. I joined a cancer support group. I started seeing a counselor who helps me navigate all the ups and downs of a cancer diagnosis. I joined the Lung Cancer Alliance, an organization dedicated solely to lung cancer support and research. I became a phone buddy, helping others work through their fears and anxieties. I participated in events to raise money and awareness about lung cancer, a 5K walk, shine a light on lung cancer. I exercise every day. I read inspirational messages, I engage in positive self-talk, and I state positive affirmations. I listen to relaxation tapes, I get massages, I've had acupuncture. I follow my doctor's instructions. I am a good patient. And therefore, I anticipated that my first CT scans would show that the cancer was gone and I could return to my so-called normal life. Well, that didn't happen. CT and PET scans did show that the cancer was still in my body. The spot on my lungs was smaller. There was no sign of cancer in my sternum lymph nodes. The lymph nodes under my left arm were still enlarged. Now, a year and a half later, I'm receiving maintenance chemo, a smaller dose once a month, and scans show the ebb and flow of cancer. My last scan in February indicates that things are about the same. And in the stage 4 cancer world, same is good. Cancer has a way of calling the shots, and doctors and patients respond. And I was used to being in charge. As an elementary principal, I always made decisions. So it's been difficult for me to sit back and wait and see what happens next. Many chemo patients survive chemo without having any other problems, but I was not so lucky. The trauma of chemo, or the trauma of cancer itself, has caused a secondary issue, and I've been diagnosed with Parsonage-Turner syndrome. It's a rare syndrome that causes nerve blockage in the wrists and hands. This set me back once again, and I had to learn to deal with and accept yet one more thing. So I knew I had to do more to help myself. And I sought advice on nutrition and began eating an anti-inflammatory diet. I started taking numerous supplements on a daily basis to bolster my immune system. Not an easy task for someone who hates swallowing pills. After making dietary changes, slowly, over time, I began to feel better, first mentally and then physically. I felt in control. I felt that I was doing something that would make a difference in my health. Now I was calling some of the shots. Feeling better mentally was a huge turning point for me. I remember waking up one morning and having a discussion with myself, and it went something like this. Okay, I have cancer. I will most likely always have cancer. It's a part of who I am, but it doesn't define me. I deserve love and happiness. I deserve to live a life full of joy and anticipation of good things to come. I decided at that moment, that morning, that I would no longer fight cancer. Fighting cancer felt like cancer had too much control and influence over my body and my life. Instead, I decided to focus on living the best possible life I could imagine, a productive life, one full of joy and happiness. Making that simple mental shift has made a huge difference in how I feel each morning when I wake up and how I approach my day. This mental shift has removed the cloud of cancer that has hung over me for the past year. Of course, some days are better than others, but focusing on living well has improved my life and my health. A wise friend once told me that you have to walk through the valley before you get to the mountain. We all want to see the beautiful vistas from the mountaintop, but it is a journey to get there. I am thankful for each day that I have. I plan to live a good long time. I plan to prove my oncologist wrong. She won't mind. Thank you for letting me share my story. I wish you health and happiness as you continue your journey through life. And the best thing to know about the future is that it comes to us one day at a time. So make the best of this beautiful day you have been given. Thank you.